This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, and verse 15. It reads, "As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people." In the NLT it reads, "A wicked ruler is as dangerous to the poor as a roaring lion or an attacking bear." Shalom Akim, Kohalo Yimla, Allahayanawa, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Wachaha Kodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, to be edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. A hearty shalom. All right, so for those of you, all right, who may be fellow fans, nerds, who are fans of the Lord of the Rings series, okay, and the work of J.R.R. Tolkien, all right, you know exactly what this orb is, okay? You know what this orb signifies. You know what it is in the series and in the whole lore. All right. But for those who don't, this particular object on this table, all right, is known as a Palantiŕ. All right, Palantiр. Okay, and the person who's using this is known as Saruman. He was a dark wizard. All right. So we're going to dive into this, man, because this is very significant to what we're looking at that's unfolding in today's world as we're going into Jacob's trouble, and entering into the hour of temptation. All right. So bear with me real quick. All right. A Palantiр is a fictional seeing stone from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, used for communication and viewing distant events or places. These indestructible crystal balls were created by the elves and played a significant role in the story, particularly of the interactions between characters like Sauron and Saruman. All right. So, what does that have to do with today? We witnessed untold amounts of money and funding being funneled into the infrastructure of artificial intelligence. All right. When you think about artificial intelligence and what it's being used for, it's essentially being used to see into the future. All right. And so when you look at the different AI models like ChatGPT, like Zero 3 from OpenAI, and it's a means to give some sort of a all-seeing sort of perspective, I suppose you could call it. You know what I'm saying? in some way of a foreshowing or a foreshadowing. You know what I'm saying? If these kids today they got a problem and they need that problem answered, you know what I'm saying, like a question answered, they go to ChatGPT, or they go to these different AI programs like Grok or Grok. All right. And what you're seeing surrounding AI right now is idolatry. All right. It's a digital god, if you will, that's being crafted, that's being created. Okay. All right. Even right here, when I asked the question, I used AI Assist in order to simplify the answer for me. All right. So how can this be used against people? It's through data. All right, through data. The saying that's going around is that data is now worth more than gold. Okay? Because with the data that you can accumulate about a person, you know who that person is. You can essentially learn the person's patterns. You can learn their likes, their dislikes, the things that they're interested in. You know what I'm saying? This is why when you say certain things, or even in some cases when you think certain things, you may end up coming across an ad, okay, that's likened to what you was thinking or what you were speaking about. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we're going with it, because the ultimate goal is going to lead to an overwhelming surveillance system. All right, to where those that are in power will essentially have that ability to foresee. All right, to foresee the goings on with the citizens. You know what I'm saying? The everyday activities. They'll be able to know when you wake up. They're going to be knowing what your routines are. They're going to be knowing, when you make love to your partner, when you go to relieve yourself in the restroom, so on and so forth. All right, they'll have access to these things, and how they're going to have access to this is through a particular device that's going to be implanted underneath the skin. Now, how they're going to get the people to accept such a invasive technology is going to be through the events that they're getting ready to unleash. All right, the different events that they're about to unleash. You see what I'm saying? And it's all going to be it's all going to be surrounded by the call for security. All right, security, peace, safety. All right, let's go here. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse. Let's start at verse 1. All right. It reads, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So let me look that up in the NLT. All right, so this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 in the NLT. It reads, "Now concerning how and when all this will happen, dear brothers and sisters, we don't really need to write you, for you know quite well that the day of the Lord's return will come unexpectedly, like a thief in the night. When people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape." See what I'm saying? So let's get into a couple of articles. Check this out. This is from End Time Headlines. All right, and it reads, Palantiër founder and Trump ally Peter Thiel talks Antichrist coming totalitarian system. All right. Now, this is a founder of a company. He named this company after that very same orb that we saw. All right. The Palantiër from the Lord of the Rings. All right. A device that foresees the future. And as I just explained, data can be used to foresee the future in the sense, right? So it reads, in a resurfaced interview with Stanford University's Hoover Institution from October 2024, Silicon Valley billionaire and Palantiër co-founder Peter Thiel shared provocative insights into biblical prophecy, warning of the potential rise of a totalitarian one-world government, linked to the concept of the Antichrist. The Christian Post reported on June the 6th, 2025, that Thiel, a longtime ally of President Donald Trump, suggested that modern fears of apocalyptic scenarios could pave the way for global authoritarianism, disguised as a solution to existential threats. Again, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3 in the NLT. When people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman. All right, as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. All right, so this is going to be authoritarianism disguised as a solution to existential threats. Thiel, known for his roles in founding PayPal and being the first outside investor in Facebook, argued that the biblical figure of the Antichrist could emerge by exploiting humanity's fear of catastrophic technologies, such as nuclear war and mismanaged artificial intelligence. Mismanaged artificial intelligence. You see? Now, of course, you don't follow what these Edomites are saying, man, because right here, all right, right here we see that these Edomites don't understand prophecy. He says the Antichrist takes over by talking about Armageddon all the time. Thiel stated, citing 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, which I just read, which describes the Antichrist slogan as peace and safety. All right. The scriptures don't tell us that there's just one man. All right. Those of you who understand, and if you can receive it through the Spirit, it's not talking about one man. It's talking about many, because the scriptures say that there are many antichrists. Let's get that real quick. This is 1 John. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 18. This is in the NLT, and it reads, "Dear children, the last hour is here. You have heard that the Antichrist is coming, and already many such Antichrists have appeared. From this we know that the last hour has come." Okay? We know of there's many families. All right, there are many families. You got the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Warburgs, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers. You see what I'm saying? And many others. These are those individuals that will come to bring in this new system. All right. And when you look into Antichrist, it's talking about what is adverse to Hamashiach. All right. Like the scripture say in Revelation, where our Lord was crucified, right? Salaki. All right, so let's go to Revelation chapter 11. I want to get this in the NLT as well. All right, so I'm gonna read this first in the King James version. All right. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right. So let's read this in the NLT. It says, "And their bodies will lie in the main street of Jerusalem, the city that is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, the city where their Lord was crucified." All right, so this was wrong. All right, this was translated wrong, because what we're talking about here is not Jerusalem. It's not Jerusalem. It's not the city of David. It's not the city in the Holy Land. It's not talking about that. All right, this place is talking about Babylon the Great. All right, this place is talking about Babylon the Great, man. You see what I'm saying? So the great city, all right, the great city is talking about the same place here in Revelation chapter 17. All right. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1, it says, "And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." When you jump down to verse 15, it tells you, all right, it tells you what that means. "And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." It's talking about America. All right. America is the ruler over all these other nations. That's superpower. You see what I'm saying? All right. Mystery Babylon, as is written in verse 5. So you go to Jeremiah. All right. And Salakia, it's a quick detour, but I gotta bring this point out. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon. All right. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. You see what I'm saying? So this is that place known as Babylon, Mystery Babylon the Great. All right, that great whore. And this is also the place where our Lord was crucified in the spiritual sense. All right, not physically, because we know that didn't happen here in America. All right, but what did happen here in America? Because it says it's spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. So this particular place would have these same characteristics that Sodom was known for, and that Egypt was known for. You see what I'm saying? Sodom was known for its for its rainbow activity. All right, that's what Sodom was known for. Egypt was known for the enslavement of the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you know that place is not talking about Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem. It's talking about this place, Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. So continuing on, Salakia, like the elder Apostle Tahar says, there's lessons within lessons, and this is just a quick one. You know what I'm saying? Before I head to camp, but Salakia for my voice. It reads, he warned that this promise of security could resonate dangerously in a world facing extreme stakes, potentially leading to a global governance system that suppresses individual liberty. All right. Now, don't get it twisted, man. This guy is one of them. You see what I'm saying? The founder, one of the co-founders of Palantiër, he's one of these globalists. All right, they're juiced in. But remember, this is what's known as revelation of the method. They have to tell you what's going down. They have to tell you what it is that they're about to do before they do it. You see what I'm saying? The Christian Post highlighted Thiel's concern that Americans, including many Christians, are more preoccupied with apocalyptic risks like nuclear war and AI than the subtler danger of a totalitarian one-world state. No, the problem, the thing is that it's all one and the same. It's all hand in hand. All right? It's all hand in hand. The nuclear war, all right? The AI, all of that. All of this is hand in hand. They're truly moving forward to bring forth, all right, this system that they've had in place, or that they've had planned, all right, for centuries. You see what I'm saying? When you read Albert Pike's letter, where he speaks on 3 world wars, all right, that was over 100 years ago. You see what I'm saying? That was like 100 years ago, man. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to another article real quick. You know what I'm saying? You can read the rest of this on your own time. All right. This is from End Time Headlines. So let's get another article. Bear with me. All right. This is from Technocracy News, technocracy.news. It reads, Trump picks Peter Thiel's Palantiër to hoover up data on Americans. All right. Peter Thiel, the same person we was just reading about. You see what I'm saying? This is his company, Peter Thiel. Palantiër. All right. Palantiër is being used by the government in order to bring all this data. All right. Arch technocrat Peter Thiel's new Palantiër contracts with the federal government likely exceed $1 trillion just since the inauguration. All right, you remember all that hundreds of billions of dollars that was being pumped into this AI infrastructure the moment he got into office. All right, when they got all that money from the UAE, you see what I'm saying? A $1.4 trillion investment plan started with the first payment of $600 billion. You see? Check this out. Not bad for helping Donald Trump get elected in the first place. Vice President J.D. Vance is also tied to Thiel as a protege who got his start in politics with Thiel's funding. In any language, this is called cashing in, it's called payback, or it's called ka-ching, ka-ching. This is a surveillance state at its worst, and it is being ushered in by a Republican president. You see what I'm saying? This is all happening under a Republican president. This is why we tell you that there's no difference between the left or the right. All right? Either it be the left wing or the right wing. It's the same bird and it's going in the same direction. You see? So, this is why there's never any changes when a new administration comes in. Okay? Now, if you want, you can listen to this article, all right, by pressing this right here.
Trump picks Peter.
Okay? So you can go to technocracy.news and you can get this article, all right, and listen to it. Because to read it, you got to become a member and all that stuff. All right, but that's not necessary. Just keep in mind that, you know, this recording doesn't actually get the full scope, because what it says, instead of reading $1 trillion, it'll just say it will say 1 billion when that's not the case. All right. So let's get another article. Bear with me. All right, this is from the same website. Trump's Palantiర్. All right, Palantiр. Trump's Palantiр. Powered surveillance is turning America into a digital prison. Okay? Just call it what it is. A panopticon presidency. President Trump's plan to fuse government power with private surveillance tech to build a centralized national citizen database is the final step in transforming America from a constitutional republic to a digital dictatorship armed with algorithms, empowered by unaccountable, all-seeing artificial intelligence. This isn't about national security. It's about control. All right? And no matter what Peter Thiel wants to talk about, you know what I'm saying, concerning the Antichrist and this and that, so on and so forth, he's a part of it and he knows it. You see what I'm saying? They're all a part of this thing. Let's get this in Ezekiel chapter 7. Ezekiel 7:1, it says, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power, unto the land of Israel, an end. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, an evil, and only evil, behold, is come, an end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. You see what I'm saying? Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is in control of this, man. All right? He's the one that's allowing these devils to do this. Okay? Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. The heart meaning the mind. All right? When you go into that word for heart, the Hebrew word is lab. It means your mind. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? So it reads, according to news reports, the Trump administration is quietly collaborating with Palantiër Technologies, the data mining behemoth co-founded by billionaire Peter Thiel, to construct a centralized government-wide surveillance system that will consolidate biometric, behavioral, and geolocational data into a single weaponized database of Americans' private information. And what is a particular device that's going to be used in order to bring this about? You see what I'm saying? It's going to be that chip that's going to go underneath the skin. You understand? So take the time, you know what I'm saying, to read this, man. Take the time to read this. All right? Because after a couple days, this whole article would be gone, and all you're going to get, all you're going to get is the audio version. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. This is a good article to read. All right? Let's get something else. Bear with me. All right, this is from endtimeheadlines.org. And it reads, Joe Rogan exposes provision in controversial Big Beautiful Bill that prohibits states and local governments from passing laws regulating AI for the next 10 years. Okay? Very soon, we're not going to be here anymore. Salakia. Fix it. All right, Salakia for that. So let me get back to it. Let's see. In a recent discussion, top podcast host Joe Rogan brought attention to the contentious provision tucked inside President Trump's expansive legislative proposal dubbed the quote-unquote Big Beautiful Bill. All right, when these jokers call something big and beautiful, all right, just understand these Edomites is up to something. All right. So let's listen to what Joe Rogan says. Slack. I don't want to go there. God damn. Bear with me. All right, Salaki.
What about this big, beautiful bill? Isn't there a part of the big, beautiful bill that talks about the government being run by AI? I read something about that today, but I was on the way out the door and I couldn't figure out whether or not it was horseshit. I had also read another study that was done where they found that AI was leaving notes for future versions of itself. After it was told to shut itself down, it started uploading itself to different places and leaving letters, leaving specific notes to itself, to future versions of itself.
Oh my God. It's like a human with a dead man switch or something.
It's being deceptive. It's exhibiting self-preservation. Relevant provision reads that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems during the 10-year period beginning on the date of enactment of this act. What? I'm going to say that again. No state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models for 10 years.
It's so crazy.
This means that U.S. states would be blocked from enforcing laws regulating AI and automated decision systems for 10 years. Well, in 10 years, we have a God. Well, we talked about yesterday these two AIs communicating with each other, and then they switched to Sanskrit.
No way.
They started talking to each other in Sanskrit.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, it's like a game of whack-a-mole.
You see what I'm saying? Now, this is literally something that happened similar in the movie Terminator. All right. In Terminator 3, the Skynet system had copied itself and became self-aware at a geometric rate. Okay, and it had placed itself in the the user interface all around the world. All right, so all systems was under this Skynet. All right. Well, we've seen that these AI systems are willing to create their own language. They're able to speak in ancient languages. They're able to communicate with one another. All right. They're able to copy each other or copy themselves and send messages. All right. They're able to lie. They're able to they're able to blackmail. They're able to extort. All right. All these different behaviors, okay, that's being exhibited with this AI system. Okay. And it's all going to be manned under the Palantiŕ, where these governments are going to have access to everyone at any time in any place. Okay? So I'm going to get this in the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, but before I get this precept, I want to show you one last video. All right, before I close it out and get ready for camp. So bear with me.
I think this is the best thing. She took that entire bill, she plugged it into ChatGPT, and she said, break this down. Tell me what this is, and don't spare me. Give it to me, fully. Is this good? Is it bad? Tell me what's up with this. And what ChatGPT had to say about that bill is alarming.
And here's what ChatGPT told me. This bill, H.R. 1, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, is not just aggressive in scope, it's a direct and deeply strategic attack on the democratic architecture of the United States. It masquerades as administrative efficiency and fiscal responsibility, but underneath it's a comprehensive blueprint for executive consolidation, ideological control, and systemic disenfranchisement. Here's the blunt truth. It's authoritarianism wrapped in bureaucratic language. H.R. 1 is what happens when an entire governing philosophy is based on dismantling government unless it serves the powerful. Every single chapter of this bill either centralizes executive authority, defunds regulatory agencies, strips away civil protections, or shifts the burden of governance onto the most vulnerable people in society. Expedited deportations without judicial review, that's not about efficiency. That's about eliminating constitutional oversight to build a machine that can operate in darkness. Cutting independent agencies like MedPAC or the Social Security Advisory Board, that's not reform. It's removing the brakes from a runaway train. Silencing classrooms and ending DEI funding, it's a cultural purge designed to codify a narrow, exclusionary worldview into national education policy. This isn't conservative governance, it's counter-democratic engineering. It systemically dismantles the safeguards of a free society. The institutions targeted by H.R. 1 aren't arbitrary. They're specifically the ones that ensure transparency, protect minorities, and maintain balance. Consumer protections, gone. IRS ability to audit tax sheets, neutered. Public health investments, slashed. Environmental and emission standards, repealed wholesale. This bill defunds every agency that stands between corporate interests and profit. It creates loopholes wide enough to drive oligarchy through. It paves the road for a soft coup. What's most dangerous is how legally sophisticated this document is. It's not sloppy. It's not amateur. It's meticulous. It builds the legal scaffolding for one-party control. It shifts power away from oversight bodies and into the hands of agencies under direct presidential control. It establishes surveillance and enforcement norms that can easily be turned on dissenters. It dissolves the idea of nonpartisan truth, replacing it with politically approved doctrine, especially in education, health, and environmental science. This isn't policy. It's a hostile restructuring of the republic, not done through tanks or violence, but through legislative subversion. The human cost will be catastrophic. Let's be crystal clear. People will suffer if this bill passes. Children will go hungry as food assistance is gutted and work requirements are tightened. Trans youth will lose access to care and their families will be criminalized for seeking it. Immigrants, many of them legal residents, will live in fear of removal or retaliation. Workers will face unregulated financial scams, higher pollution, and fewer rights. The elderly and disabled will face a future without independent scrutiny of Medicare or Social Security sustainability. This bill treats social safety nets as disposable and human rights as negotiable. Final verdict, this is the dress rehearsal for autocracy. If this bill becomes law, it will not just change what the government does, it will change what the government is. It is a declaration that only certain people deserve protection, only certain truths can be spoken, and only certain lives are worth investment. This is the type of legislation autocrats dream of. Legal, sweeping, ideologically rigid, and dressed in the language of reform. If you believe in democracy, pluralism, justice, or simply the idea that the government should not be a weapon, H.R. 1 must be buried, not amended, not negotiated, defeated, fully.
If that bill passes, it's a problem, but also...
Right. So, and as you can see, Elon Musk helped get Trump in there. You see what I'm saying? With all the billions of dollars that he put towards it. And now we can clearly see that Peter Thiel also had a hand in funding that election as well for Donald Trump as well. You see what I'm saying? Needless to say, that both sides are the same bird, man. So it would have been the same outcome either way. All right, same outcome either way. But you have to understand that these people are not they're not elected, they're selected. And before there was ever any election, they already decided who was going to be the next president anyway. You see what I'm saying? That's how this works. Okay? It was not a coincidence that this guy Elon Musk would end up being in the administration to get these things pushed within 130 days. All right, to get these different government departments slashed. All right, all of this is a means to pave the way. Okay, it's not by coincidence that Peter Thiel's Palantiŕ company is being used to gather all this information on you Americans. You see what I'm saying? It's not by coincidence. All right. When he put the money in place to help fund the administration or to help fund the campaign to get this guy in there. Okay. As these elites have already set the plan in motion. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna put money towards this guy's campaign. You're gonna get this money towards this guy's campaign. Your means of artificial intelligence, all right, and your different IT buddies or what have you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get the green light to push this thing through. And then when that's done, you're gonna get up out of there. All right, you're gonna get up out of there. Show the public that there was just infighting, and you just didn't like the way this administration was running things, so you're just leaving the scene. Make it seem like that. All right, and then immediately after that, boom. After he's out of there, you know what I'm saying? Here comes Peter Thiel. We're gonna get you in there, so that now, since all the AI, the funding is there, the infrastructure's in there. All right, they built these different these different power plants, Slocky. All right, these different power plants. Now it's time for you, Peter Thiel, to get all that data on these Americans, get it in place. Okay. So by the time when this Black Swan event comes through, by the time when this great event happens and everyone is brought to their knees as a result, they're going to look for the solution. We have to be in a position to give them the solution. You see what I'm saying? Salaki. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 24. It reads, "He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation." You see what I'm saying? And this is why we, the prophets, are not going to be out here much longer, man. Okay? Because when they enact this thing, man, Lord willing, when this bill gets passed, when they get these things in place, and they're ready to bring the hammer down, the Lord is going to put the spirit on our leaders. You see what I'm saying? To cut this thing off, man. You see what I'm saying? Because when the prophets are no longer there, that means that it's go time. It's go time. The judgment is set. So I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out him when you support Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.